Dana Abercrombie, the Koalition. I am so excited to talk to you. I did not think we would see Alvin again. Um, can you kind of talk about when we last saw him? He was initially, giving drugs, the heroin, to Lamar to keep him kind of drugged up. Can you talk about kind of that change? Was it an act of I'm sorry? How did that go? Because
I
now we
don't
see
know if it was an
Lamar.
act of I'm sorry, but I just don't think that there was an ending to it. Like it was like I think there are questions that need to be answered, like why would he do it? What if Lamar gets help? What would be the initial conversation if they finally met up again? In fact, when that was over, I was like, yeah, that's probably gonna be over for Lamar. And when they said they were interested in bringing me back, I didn't have a script or anything. And the only thing I thought was that, yeah, he's gonna accept my apology. We're gonna get together. Blood is thicker than water. We're gonna turn it. I'll apologize. He'll understand I was under a lot of stress, and then he'll be like, let's just go over and take over the world. But I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but there is an exchange and we will confront each other again. And the outcome of it is going to be very interesting because I don't know. I think some people could expect this could be the outcome and some people could not expect it. But I was super excited that I got the call that I would come back to the show in any capacity because it's nothing like work with people that you respect and the people that gave you the validation on what you can do without an audition. I mean, if it wasn't for Tasha Smith, Randy Huggins, and 50 Cent just saying, we want this guy, I probably would have never been a part of it. But I'm a part of something that's going to go down in history. It's definitely a show that resonates in the black community, as well as the people of that era of the late 80s and the early 90s, whatever. And just for me, a guy from Alexandria, Virginia, with no professional acting training, that for the most part does stand up. I was excited that they would respect me enough to bring me back and see what my acting chops could do.
I'm so happy for you.
But
I want to say though, it is tension, you can say, between Alvin and Lamar. Do you feel that there is still hope for a promise? Because he got that chip of sobriety. It's a
yeah,
new outlook.
yeah,
So do you approach the character differently, knowing that how Lamar is reacting in that first episode?
no, because when people watch this, they're gonna know like our encounter. I didn't have time to process any of that. Like it wasn't, that would be something I process behind the scenes. If they would develop the character to go a certain way, I would have to consider all of those things. But because the way this season plays out, I didn't have time to think about that. And only thing I could do was react to seeing him again, you know.
Oh,
And I don't want to spoil it, but it could go a bunch of ways of what could happen. And it's going to be interesting for people to, I'm just curious to think how people think it would happen and then what the outcome really was.
right. So would you argue that everything that you do on screen is a reactionary to Lamar's character as opposed to you having an independent reaction?
No, because my independent reaction had nothing to do with the head on paper. Whenever he
Okay.
disrespected me, whenever his dog ate my food, I would roast his ass, right? I would tear him up and they would all say, cut. They was like, what's wrong? They was like, you can't talk to him like that. I was like, yo, he disrespected me. He disrespected my house. They say, yeah, but that disrespect would have caused him to smash your head through a brick wall. So what the direction that I wanted the character to go in, they didn't agree with. But then when you realize how menacing he is, you couldn't have him killing everybody and then letting his cousin disrespect him. So it was very interesting to see, the choices. The one thing about acting, they always talk about they want you to make a choice and they either bring you back or tell you to turn it up. In the case with my character, they told me to bring it down, and it made sense because I was thinking one thing, but you got to consider the storyline. This guy just killed his baby mother. Now he's going to let his cousin talk trash to him. It just don't add up. And I think that the direction and the direction that they did, I think that they made some good choices with my character, and I thought they made some good choices on how they brought Lamar back into the storyline.
Would you say whether or not he regrets his decision to give him the drugs by the end of this season one and how it plays into season two?
I don't think that he regrets that because I'll just say like this: when I was living in New York, there were some people that I knew that was just straight murderers, right?
Um,
And the thing about it was they was murderers, but I was still cool with them, you know?
right.
And then like at their demise or when they got locked up, I didn't root for it, but I said to myself, God damn, look how many other lives are probably saved just because this person isn't either here anymore or they're locked up. I think that's a different thing. I think that part of him was like, yeah, I'm sorry about this, but damn, when does it stop with this guy?
Was there a sense of freedom
Yes, it's still
when
freedom. Yeah, because you think
yeah.
like, "Phew, I don't got to worry about him killing me, but we'll see how that works out."
All the things we cannot say.
Yeah.
Um, what I love about this also with this character is there is a sense of understanding with him and Lamar. He's still in terms of seeing him as a person. Does that carry on?
Yeah, it carries on, but I don't think that me and Lamar think the same way. I look at Lamar as a person and a human, but I think Lamar looks at this character like a person and a human, but you can die too. I mean, you killed the mother of your child. So with that said, how else is our thoughts going to be other than I could be next on anything? He have a bad day. He don't his the dog anything could set everybody Lamar's a anything could set him off. So I'm like this, get him out of here so I can stay here. you know.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to me. I, of course, love the character.
And thank you and look forward to what people feel about this show and hopefully it'll continue.
Thank you.